On December 1, 2025, a federal appeals court in Philadelphia made a decision that's sparking debate nationwide. The court ruled that Alina Habba's appointment as New Jersey's top federal prosecutor was illegal. This case is about more than one person. It's about presidential power and the rules for appointing key officials. The Trump administration's attempt to bypass established procedures has triggered a major legal and political showdown. The court's unanimous decision highlights the importance of following the Constitution's process for filling critical roles like U.S. Attorney. These prosecutors wield enormous power, so their legitimacy must be unquestionable. The ruling sends a clear message. Even the highest officials must respect the law and the checks and balances in our system. Legal experts say this could set a precedent for future administrations. As we dig into this case, we'll see how a single appointment can reveal deep disagreements about presidential authority. It's a powerful reminder that the law applies to everyone, including the government itself. Alina Habba is a lawyer best known for her close ties to former President Trump, having served as his personal attorney. Her appointment as U.S. Attorney for New Jersey was controversial from the start. The job demands impartiality and public trust, as it oversees federal prosecutions across the state. Habba's rapid rise, from private practice to the state's top federal prosecutor, raised eyebrows. Supporters called her a strong advocate for the administration's agenda. Critics worried her loyalty to Trump could compromise her independence. The U.S. Attorney's Office in New Jersey is one of the most powerful in the country, handling thousands of cases and supervising hundreds of staff. The person in this role must be seen as fair and free from political influence. Habba's unusual path and high-profile connections made her appointment a lightning rod for debate. The controversy over her qualifications and independence set the stage for the legal battles that followed. Her story is a case study in how politics and law can collide at the highest levels. The scrutiny she faced was intense, and it would only grow. The question, was her authority legitimate? There's a clear process for appointing a U.S. attorney. The president nominates a candidate, usually a respected lawyer with a strong record. The Senate Judiciary Committee holds hearings to vet the nominee. After public questioning, the committee votes on whether to recommend the candidate to the full Senate. A majority Senate vote is required for confirmation. This process ensures oversight and prevents unchecked presidential appointments. If the position becomes vacant, the Attorney General can appoint an interim U.S. attorney for up to 120 days. After that, either the president must nominate and the Senate confirm a permanent replacement, or local federal judges can extend the interim term. These rules are designed to prevent anyone from holding this powerful office indefinitely without proper vetting. The system is a key part of the checks and balances that keep our government accountable. It's about more than procedure. It's about protecting the integrity of federal law enforcement. Any attempt to sidestep this process raises serious legal and constitutional questions. Alina Habba's appointment didn't follow the usual rules. In July 2025, she became interim U.S. Attorney for New Jersey, a role meant to last just 120 days. Her nomination faced strong opposition from New Jersey's Democratic senators, making Senate confirmation unlikely. When her interim term ended, local federal judges declined to extend her tenure, and instead appointed her deputy, Desiree Lee Grace. The Trump administration responded with a series of rapid moves. Attorney General Pam Bondi fired Grace, Trump withdrew Habba's nomination, and Habba resigned. Immediately, Bondi appointed Habba as Special Attorney and First Assistant U.S. Attorney. Using the Federal Vacancies Reform Act, the administration then reinstalled Habba as acting U.S. Attorney, arguing the law allowed the first assistant to take over. Critics called this a legal shell game, a way to bypass the Senate and the judges. The administration's maneuvers were seen as exploiting loopholes to keep a loyalist in power. This strategy set off alarms about executive overreach and the erosion of constitutional checks. The controversy wasn't just about Habba. It was about whether the rules for filling powerful offices could be bent or broken. The legal battle that followed would test the limits of presidential authority. The courts were about to weigh in on whether these tactics were clever or unlawful. The stakes: the independence of the justice system and the rule of law. This was no ordinary appointment fight. It was a constitutional showdown. The outcome would have national implications. The question: can the executive branch rewrite the rules to suit its agenda? Habba's reappointment quickly faced a legal challenge. Not from politicians, but from three men facing federal charges. They argued that if her appointment was illegal, any action she took, including their indictments, was invalid. Their lawyers claimed the administration had used a series of maneuvers to sidestep the law. The core argument: the Federal Vacancies Reform Act couldn't override the specific rules for U.S. attorney appointments. Congress created those rules to ensure independence and prevent presidents from installing loyalists without oversight. By ignoring the judges and using legal loopholes, the administration undermined the law's intent. U.S. District Judge Matthew Brann agreed, ruling in August 2025 that Habba's appointment was unlawful. He found the administration's actions were a clear attempt to subvert the legal process. This decision set the stage for a high-stakes appeal. The fight was now about more than one case. It was about the limits of executive power. The next stop, the Third Circuit Court of Appeals. The Third Circuit Court of Appeals delivered a unanimous and forceful decision. The judges agreed that Alina Habba's appointment violated federal law and the Constitution's Appointments Clause. They warned that the administration's tactics would make Senate confirmation meaningless, allowing indefinite appointments without oversight. The court emphasized that the specific laws for U.S. attorney appointments must be followed. No shortcuts allowed. The judges highlighted the confusion and instability caused by the legal uncertainty. Their ruling aimed to restore order and reaffirm the rule of law. This was a major defeat for the Trump administration's appointment strategy. The decision set a precedent. The president's power to appoint is real, but not unlimited. The law and the Constitution set clear boundaries. No administration can rewrite the rules for its own convenience. With the appeals court ruling against Habba's appointment, the Trump administration faces a choice. It could accept the decision and appoint a new U.S. attorney, or appeal to the Supreme Court. An appeal would turn this into a national test of presidential power and the separation of powers. The Supreme Court's decision could set a binding precedent for all future appointments. Similar legal battles are happening in other states, signaling a broader judicial pushback. Until the Supreme Court acts, the Third Circuit's ruling stands in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware. For now, Habba's authority is void, and the Justice Department must decide its next steps. The outcome will shape how presidents fill key roles for years to come. Legal scholars, politicians, and the public are watching closely. The stakes: the balance of power in American government. The court's decision has thrown New Jersey's legal system into uncertainty. For months, the U.S. Attorney's Office operated in limbo, with cases delayed and defense attorneys challenging indictments. Now, questions swirl about the validity of actions taken under Habba's leadership. Defense lawyers may argue that indictments and plea deals are invalid, leading to a wave of legal challenges. Judges must decide if her unlawful appointment is grounds to dismiss cases, a complex, time-consuming process. The ruling also affects the morale of career prosecutors and staff, who've been caught in a political storm. Stability and legitimate leadership are essential for public trust in law enforcement. Ultimately, it's the people of New Jersey who are most affected. The court's decision is a step toward clarity, but the aftermath could be messy. The legal system must now navigate the fallout to ensure justice and uphold the rule of law. This legal saga boils down to a basic principle: following the rules matters. The process for appointing U.S. attorneys is designed to ensure independence and accountability. When administrations try to find loopholes, it undermines the foundation of our government. The court's rulings send a clear message: shortcuts aren't acceptable for powerful positions. The judiciary plays a crucial role in upholding the Constitution and correcting overreach. This case reassures citizens that the law applies to everyone, even top officials. The rules aren't just technicalities. They protect the integrity of our justice system. The decision on Habba's appointment is a victory for lawful governance and public trust.